I really appreciate the standards and guidelines, and particularly the ethical principles of ICF. So I do think that regulation is important. There's a lot of unethical practitioners out there, and I think that in order for coaching to receive the credibility that it deserves as a profession, that we need some sort of accountability. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's on the one hand. And at the same time, I think that there is a risk that if you box yourself into practices and only follow to the letter of the law, then you, and I'm not talking about real laws, I'm talking about guidelines. If you only follow the guidelines very strictly, then you're doing your clients a disservice by not offering the wealth and depth of your knowledge. So ICF is very clear that you should only be training or practicing skills that you're trained and qualified to do so. And if you take that route, then all of these things with their wonder and enhancement of the coaching experience can come into play, and you can ethically use them. Mm-hmm. But I also, and it's really important that you are actually trained in doing them, and you actually are qualified in providing that service, not just say that you are. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Not the 2-hour workshop, more like the 6-month training.
Yeah. I guess one of the things that came up that quite a few coaches voiced was concern about an authority within the coaching field that would allow certain things and certain others not. And there's certainly a tendency that it becomes a bit elitist in terms of the ICF only lets certain people in who subscribe to their rules or to their guidelines. And I share your appreciation for it, but also there's a lot of voices out there where like, I don't have the extra couple of grand lying around to be part of your club. However, there's people out there with very little qualification in the formal stamp of approval kind of way, and they're doing amazing work and they're very well educated. So
that's kind of where I was headed. That's why I said there's 2 prongs to that. I agree. I think that if who am I serving? Am I serving an international organization, a regulatory body, or am I serving my client? Mm-hmm. And if I'm serving my client, I'm going to bring everything that I can in support of my client. Mm-hmm. Coaching being one of it, but I do not bind myself by the constraints of any profession. I appreciate their intent and what they're trying to do, and I adhere to their ethical standards and all this other stuff because I think it's very useful to have a guiding light. But if the guiding light becomes a prison, then you're not providing the service that you need to be providing, Mm-hmm. And I also think I'm with you, it's like, what is the actual benefit of an ICF certification?